I'm like shaking. Making this video, it's like I'm shaking. It's like this period of hyper grace that we're in. God, it's like, forgive me for saying, but it's like it doesn't seem to be working. Doesn't. And God takes a long time to deliver you from your enemies because it's like he wants people to think that they've won, right? That they're like, oh, basking in this period, or like, oh, they feel like they've won. And nobody's doubting that they didn't win. Nobody's doubting that. Of course they fucking lost. Of course they're losers. But this period of hyper grace, it's like, I don't know what the answer is, but it's like this hyper grace is almost like turning. If you don't mind me saying, it's like, dude, it feels like it's turning satanic. It almost feels like this weird inversion is happening where it's like the most Christian, holier than thou friggin' people are becoming like the most satanic. For example, it's like God pours his wrath out on the world and like bad stuff happens, right? Like stuff happens. And it's like these forgive me for saying this. It's like these hyper grace Christians are like, oh, just pray against it. Oh, pray against it. And it's like, what the fuck, dude? It's almost like this hyper grace Christianity is like turning satanic. And I really appreciate Jamie Walden, who's a very strong pastor and very strong in the faith. And he was saying how when stuff begins to hit the fan, people are going to be like, oh, pray against it. And he's going to be like, don't pray against it. This is not something to pray against. This is God's judgment. This is God's wrath being poured out. He's like, so when God pours out his wrath and judgment, do not pray against it. He's like super strong Christian, but he's like, also when shit hits the fan, do not pray against it. That is God's will. That is God's will pouring out. Freaking A, dude. And I feel it so strongly. It's like this wrath. I don't know where it's coming from, but you could say, oh, things are not going your way. It's like, but nothing is happening. Like, oh, things are not going your way, but dude, nothing is happening. Seemingly, only God knows. Only God knows. But dude, this hyper grace nonsense, oh my goodness, it's like not doing it, dude. It's not doing it. It's not doing it. Dude, it's not. And it's like, I'm repeating myself, but again, it's weird. It's like, I don't fit in with Christians because they are like full of like bad spirits. That's why they need the church. You go into the church and they're like, don't try and steal my husband. It's like, dude, no one wants your freaking husband, dude. Or like you get like close to the pastor and the people are like, oh, what are you better than us because you and the pastor have so much in common? It's like, Jesus, like you can't even like go to church. And then Satanists don't like me because I don't know, I feel like a lot more Satanists. Am I talking to myself? Yeah, maybe I am. But I have a YouTube channel for a reason. And it's like, I feel like Satanists, like, he's like, somebody posted a video, they played gospel music at a school event, and I'm like, dude, you can't just play gospel music to children. They don't know what the frig they're doing. There's no salvation. They're not explaining salvation to these children. They're just playing their gospel music and they're just dancing around like we're in a cult and we all love each other. They're not in covenant with God. They're in covenant with each other about gospel music. And it's like, if I say something, then it's funny because it's like, I feel like the Satanists come in and they're like, this is horrible. And you'd be like, oh, that's terrible. They would say that. And it's like, no, dude, it's like they had the right idea. You can't just play gospel music for children. They don't know what the hell they're doing. It's like you can't fit in anywhere. It's like I don't fit in anywhere. And that's fine. Don't get me wrong. That is fine. That's fine. But it goes to show how lost this world is. It's so lost. Like, hyper grace, at a certain period, hyper grace, and these hyper grace prayers almost become like satanic. Because God's pouring his judgment out for a reason. It's not like you go around cursing everybody. But when God pours out his judgment, just be like, yeah, thank you. But these hyper grace Christians are like, oh, pray against it. And it's like, it sounds like the God they're worshiping is like Satan. And I feel like at a certain point when you're like not praying for hyper grace anymore, like not praying for mercy anymore. Dude, I stopped praying for mercy for like a year. I used to pray for mercy. I haven't prayed for mercy for like a year. I don't pray for mercy. I don't go around cursing people, but I also don't pray for mercy. And I feel like the God that is telling people to pray for mercy, I don't feel like it's Jesus Christ anymore. I feel like it's Satan. I'm not afraid to say it because God's going to correct me if I'm wrong. But I feel like this hyper grace God that people are following, it's weird how like it's turning quickly satanic. It's like this Christian God they're worshiping is like Satan. I said what I said. I don't see any other way around it. Because if you equate it to a husband, and if you see so much injustice happening in the world, and you see that God's pouring out his wrath on the injustice, and you're like, yeah, I think that's a good thing. If your husband was like, you better stop, that's evil of you, dude, that's a narcissist. Like, your husband is a narcissist. He's channeling Satan. So if you put God in context of like a husband, when all this, like, you stopped praying for mercy a long time ago because you didn't find any mercy to be had. And you're just like giving your will to God and letting God do his thing. Wouldn't it be like the satanic husband that's like, oh no, you need to pray mercy. Pray mercy. It's like, what in the world? Your husband's now channeling Satan. Great. You're now, like, your husband's now channeling Satan. I hope I made my point. Like, I don't fit in anywhere. I don't fit in with the Christians. I don't fit in with the Satanists. I don't fit in anywhere. And that's fine with me. But this is why, dude. And a lot of people are now saying it, especially on TikTok. Like, a lot of people are now saying how, like, dude, this Christianity is turning into, like, Satanism. And they don't even realize it. It's like this hyper grace God that they're praying to and praying mercy. It's like turning satanic. And I've been battling with this for like so many years where it's like things are horrible and you would pray for deliverance. But then like some man would be like, "Oh no, you need to pray for mercy. You need to pray for this world. This world, Satan's world, this world." That's satanic, dude. It's worldly, dude. It's satanic. It's worldly. And I think that this was the way it was going to go, especially with the upcoming, I don't know if the spirit of the Antichrist is like coming or going, but I mean, the future of the world, it's like not looking good, dude. It's looking like fire and brimstone. So like at this hour, why would your God, who you think is Jesus Christ, which is actually you're channeling Satan, you're like, I'm going to pray against fire and brimstone. Let me pray against fire and brimstone when fire and brimstone is the will of God, Jesus Christ. He said in Matthew, I am not coming back to bring peace, but a sword. So if there's a God out there that people think they're listening to and they're like, oh, pray for peace. Pray for peace. Jesus didn't say he's coming back to bring peace. He said he's coming back with a sword. Dude. Goodness gracious.